Hello everyone, today I want to talk about what I learned during the last decade of manifesting and great lessons that I learned that I want to share with you so that you can, bypass some of the mistakes that I made. So this is what I wish I knew that I would have told myself 10 years ago when I was first experimenting with the law of attraction. So the greatest lesson that I learned is that manifesting is not always as instant as you want it to be. We live in a very slow, heavy 3D world, and unfortunately for reality to catch up with the image or the state of being that we're emanating, it can take time. There's a gestational period. There's also what's called the bridge of incidence, which is where you release a manifestation out into the universe, and the universe takes your intention and creates a bridge of incidence in the physical world to lead you to experience your mental manifestation in your physical 3D reality. So I have found that it can sometimes take weeks, months, or years to manifest certain things in my life. And I find that the more important something is to me, the longer it takes to manifest, because usually the most important things that you want to manifest are the most complicated. So it takes a lot of orchestration on the universe's part to make this a reality. I know that you don't necessarily want to hear it, but patience is really important when you are trying to work with the law of attraction. Patience and faith are what I wish I knew. I really wish I knew this, because sometimes I was so impatient with what I was trying to manifest that I would actually lose my state of being of having what I was trying to manifest. And then because I wasn't in that state of being anymore, I was no longer attracting it. And I was actually causing a delay of what I wanted my manifestation to be. And it's because really of something so fickle as impatience, and a lack of faith. But once I came to terms with this, because it was kind of like on and off. Some days I would really be on and believe that what I was manifesting was already in my reality. Some days I was off. So it was kind of like an inconsistent frequency that I was emitting out into the universe. So of course the universe is going to give me an inconsistent reflection back. But eventually, even with my inconsistency and my inconsistent state of being, I was able to manifest very important, very complicated things into my reality. It eventually did happen. It just happened much slower than I would have liked. And I believe it's because I was impatient and I didn't have faith and I had an inconsistent state of being. So this also ties into the state of being. If you are always in a state of faith, if you are always in the state of being grateful, thankful, of having what you are already wanting to manifest, of just that inner knowing that it's already here, it's here in your reality, the faster it's going to come to you. You're not going to have such a long gestational period. Miracles are going to occur. Things are going to arrange in your 3D reality in order to create this new life vision that you have for yourself. Another thing that I really wish I had known 10 years ago, which now I know very well, and that's just because of what I've heard and what I've learned from other people and also my own experience, is the power of repetition. I didn't know how powerful repetition truly was 10 years ago. You can hear something intellectually and be like, yeah, that makes sense. But for you to hear something versus know and understand something are completely different experiences. Because when you know and understand something, that's when you apply it in your everyday life. That's when you actually take action on the principles. So I never actually truly knew and understood the power of repetition. Your mind is a machine and it operates according to certain laws in this universe. One of the laws is the power of repetition. Whatever you repeat to yourself on a daily basis, all day, your inner dialogue is repeating this, is eventually what you will believe and eventually what your life will become, whether or not it's true. Because once you really truly understand this and you're really truly applying it in your life, you can create whatever you want. You can be whoever you want. Let's just say, for instance, You don't think you're a funny person. You don't have a sense of humor. Well, you can literally brainwash yourself into believing that you're a funny person. And then your outer reality will actually reflect that. That is actually how it works. You can brainwash yourself into being whoever you need to be in order to manifest the reality that you would like to experience. So for instance, if you want to be someone who attracts abundance into your life all the time, what type of person does that? Think about it. It's somebody that's emitting abundance. They're contributing. They work hard. They produce. So then you can manifest yourself into becoming that person. Because then you're going to be falling in line with the laws of the universe. Whatever you give out is what you attract. You want to follow the laws of the universe because that's the path of least resistance in order to experience what you would like to experience in your life. So use the power of repetition. How do you use the power of repetition? Writing. Repeatedly writing your goals daily, writing your goals multiple times daily. The power of writing does something to your brain. It imprints into your subconscious mind. Affirmations, both internally as well as out loud, on repeat. Not affirmations once a day, affirmations hundreds of times a day. I always say in my videos, pick 1 or 2 affirmations that are going to dramatically change the quality of your life and say them on repeat over and over and over whenever you have a spare moment. Just say them. And when you're saying them, try to as well emotionally invest as if these affirmations were true. I am abundant. I am wealthy. I am beautiful. I am loved. Whatever affirmation is going to change your life. The third thing I wish I knew was being specific. I have made past manifestation mistakes, which were not really mistakes, but it was more so of a learning experience, I want to say. So I'll give you an example. If you're not specific, the universe will manifest for you, but it's not going to manifest necessarily the way that you envisioned it. It will still give you your manifestation, but not the way you envisioned it. So I'll give you an example. I have a dream of living in the mountains. So I often, probably, 3 or 4 years ago, I would imagine myself walking in a town that was surrounded by mountains. And there's lots of them here in Canada, very beautiful. So that's what I would imagine. That's literally what my manifestation visualization would be. I would be walking around in a town surrounded by mountains, feeling amazing, really just in awe of the beauty of the mountains. This manifestation came true. But what I originally wanted to manifest was that I lived in the mountains and I had generated enough money to actually go out and move into the mountains. Okay, so that was what my original intention was. But because I was not specific, that's not what happened. What happened was, okay, this is really, really strange. Last year, before the pandemic and everything, I was going to my cousin's wedding in the mountains. And my uncle was also invited to this wedding, and he had also booked a all-inclusive vacation in the mountains in this town that my cousin was getting married to, or a town close by. Very beautiful tourist town. Something really strange happened. What happened was there was this crazy ice storm where he lived back home, and it actually crushed a power tower, and it caused a major power outage in the town he was living in for, I think, a week and a half. This town had no power. So he could not make it to the wedding or his vacation. He could not get a refund on his vacation because he had to stay home to make sure that his pipes wouldn't freeze and to keep his generator going. So he was trying to find someone to give this vacation away to because he could only transfer the vacation. He couldn't refund it. So what happened? I'm the one that got this free vacation in the mountains. And I was walking around in this town, such a gorgeous town, looking at mountains, realizing that what I had envisioned 3 or 4 years ago was now real, but it wasn't the way that I wanted it to be. Not to say that I wasn't grateful. I was very grateful. I am still very grateful. Like, that's amazing, right? Free vacation. And I really did enjoy myself, and it was wonderful. But I realized then the importance of being specific when you're trying to manifest something. It is so important. So now when I manifest something, I am very specific with numbers. So if I want to manifest money, I'll be very specific with the amount of money I want to manifest, and I'll visualize that amount of money. Or say you want to manifest being married, I would manifest you and your significant other with rings, wedding rings on your finger, as if the marriage already occurred. So you want to imagine a scene where your manifestation has already occurred, and you want to imagine it in first person if you're using visualization. And that's probably one of the greatest lessons that I learned, is the importance of being extremely specific. Be very specific with your affirmations, very specific with your visualizations as well. And another huge thing that I wish I knew was, and this is trending on YouTube right now, but it's the power of letting go. If you have too much resistance, your manifestation is going to be blocked. It's going to come to you much, much slower. So there are so many different ways and advice for techniques to let go. I would just say take it day by day. The most important thing I feel like for letting go is to get into a very pure state of being where you are connected to your higher self and you are connected to the God within you. And you are truly feeling those elevated emotions of gratitude, of receiving, of feeling whole, complete, worthy, joy. You need to be and connect with this state of being every single day, because that's going to draw your manifestation to you the fastest. And it's also going to release resistance, because when you are in that true state of gratitude, you are not in a state of lack. You are not in a state of resistance anymore. So you're letting go a little bit. If you have problems with resistance, that's probably the most powerful way that I found, and the easiest way for me to let go of the reins a little bit on what I was trying to manifest in my life. If you already feel happy, if you already feel grateful, if you already feel like what you have is in your life, the resistance is gone. In that moment, you are not resisting. And the more that you can persist in this state of being, of not being in a state of resistance, of not being in a state of lack, the more that you're going to be in alignment with your manifestations. And another thing I wish that I knew 10 years ago was the power of words that you say in passing. Until I started really paying attention to this, I didn't realize how many things that I said were actually blocking my manifestations. So I have a lot of blockages around money and finances. I'm finally breaking free from that, finally, after so long. But I had a really bad pattern of saying to my friends and family, I can't afford that. I don't have enough money for that. That's not in my budget. And when I realized that what I said is always going to reflect back to me, I stopped saying these things. I stopped saying I don't have enough. I stopped saying I can't afford that, and I started saying the universe takes care of me. I have enough money for that. There's more than enough. Money is my friend. I started saying these things, or being like, I'm so thankful for what I'm experiencing today. Or even if I went out and bought something small like Starbucks, I'd be like, wow, I'm so grateful and thankful that I have this delicious coffee today. Just really switching my mindset and switching the words that I was using. It's so important, because remember, whatever you repeat is what's going to become your reality. So if you're repeating very disempowering statements every day about yourself and your life, that's what you're going to keep getting. And I really don't think a lot of people understand that, because if they really understood the true power of their words, they would be a lot more careful with what they're letting come out of their mouth. Word is bond. Word is power. Another thing I wish I had known is that my fears and my insecurities are not me. And when you get to the point where you actually realize that, and you can disassociate yourself from your negative thought patterns, from your feelings of fear, from your negative feelings, realize they're not you. They are like waves passing through your body. You're going to be more in your power. This is a process. But if you give in to your fearful thought patterns and to your feelings of fear, your fear-based emotions, this again is going to slow down your manifestations, because it's going to contradict what you're trying to manifest, and it's going to get you out of alignment emotionally and psychically with what you're trying to manifest. When fearful thoughts come up, it's going to be a process to learn how to quiet this part of your mind. But the best way that I found was to really separate myself. And once I started realizing that I felt fear and then seeing my thoughts, I could actually begin to separate myself, separate who I was from the fearful thoughts, realize I'm not my fearful thoughts. That is so powerful, to realize that you're not your fearful thoughts. And you can watch them and observe them, and then you're detached from them and they don't have as much power. And it's funny, when your fearful thoughts realize they're being watched, that's your ego. When your ego realizes it's being observed, it doesn't have any power anymore. And then you're going to notice that it actually dissolves and it doesn't rear its head nearly as often as it used to, because you can just automatically detach from it. Really stay connected. Keep the faith and stay connected with your higher self. You are going to go through periods where you're scared, where you don't believe that what you're trying to manifest is going to manifest. That's not you. And just say, I am ready to let you go now. I am ready to let you go now. You're shedding these negative emotions. When you start delving into these spiritual practices, such as the law of attraction, manifestation, trying to raise your vibration, your body is going to start purging. Your shadow self is going to start emerging out of your psyche. This is very normal. And you just have to allow this process to happen. But do not lose your connection with your higher self and with God. Your higher self is always with you. It's always with you. You just have to close your eyes and connect with it and feel it. It's there. And if you can feel that connection, feel the strength of it, and not lose faith that it's always with you, you can conquer your fearful thoughts, your insecurities, any limiting beliefs that you have. You can conquer them all, I promise you. And once you do that, conquer your limiting beliefs, and you can permanently stay in a state of being of where your manifestations are already real in your life, that's when your manifestations will swarm you. You'll be immersed in what you're trying to manifest, and it will be so much easier for you to manifest. But it's a day-by-day process. Every day, realign yourself. Do the work, and every day, realign yourself emotionally, spiritually, and psychically with the life that you're wanting to create. So I hope these lessons helped you guys. For anyone new to manifesting, I hope that this gift helps you on your journeys, and I can't wait to hear all of your manifestation stories. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.